What's going on, everybody? It's Kyle Vinnick, and we back at it with an iPhone XS Max. I bought this phone back in 2018 when it first came out, so it's been my daily driver for about 2 years. I do keep a Pixel 2 XL on the side, but I only use it whenever my iPhone battery die and I'm just bored. But it's been a hot minute since I put a SIM card in an Android phone. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about the wear and tear of this iPhone XS Max and my overall opinion about continuing to use the phone. So before I get into all that, I gotta mention that I never slapped the screen protector on this phone, but I always have a case on the phone. I do have a few cases that I use for this phone, but primarily I be having a UAG case on this phone. It's a rugged type case and it absorbs shocks really well. The price is pretty high on this case, but it's really good quality and it can last a really long time. But anyways, taking a look at the phone itself, you can see that I have minor scratches on the back of the phone, almost in every area. And now on the front of the phone, it's a little more serious. You can only see it when the screen is off, and they don't interrupt the viewing experience when you're looking at photos or watching videos. And on the stainless steel sides of the phone, you can see that I also have scratches on there too. Owning this phone for 2 years and having all of these scratches, it doesn't really bother me. But I know for some people, it's going to be tough to sell back at a good price in a condition like this. So even though this is a 2-year-old phone, the iPhone XS Max is still able to get the latest update right now, which is iOS 13.4.1. This iPhone is running on that Apple A12 Bionic chip and it has 4 gigabytes of RAM. So we should all know that web browsing and social media activities on this phone works good since it's light work. But the real test is loading games, having the navigation active, watching movies in HD, sometimes all at the same time. It's like, nah, but when it comes to multitasking with heavy apps, this phone can still keep up. Like honestly, I never really had any major performance issues with this phone, except when my phone is sitting in direct sunlight. I never heard of anyone else having the same issue as me, but when I'm in my car and I have my phone on the side with the sun beaming on it, my phone would be unresponsive. I'll be tapping stuff and it would take long to register, and when I try to swipe, it'd be moving all slow. So when that happens, I try to put my phone away from the sunlight, and it would take about 3 to 6 minutes of chilling before it gets back to normal. The most that took a hit on this phone is the battery life. When I first had this phone, the battery life was long lasting and consistent depending on the type of usage. Typically, I would have to charge my phone 2 times a day, and I think that's normal when you first use a phone. But 2 years with this phone, I would have to charge my phone at least 3 times a day. And that usage would consist of social media, some camera action, a little bit of navigation, web browsing, and all day music listening. So this phone is capable with that fast charging. So with a 15 watt USB-C charger, it's estimated to take about 30 minutes to hit 50%. But honestly, I still use the original charger, which is 5 watts. It takes about 3 hours to fully charge from a low percentage. That's a pretty long time to charge, but it never really bothered me because I normally charge my phone when I'm asleep, and I'm not always connected to my phone. You can also wirelessly charge your phone with the Qi-enabled wireless charging pads. I do have a Samsung wireless charger, and it works good, but I like the option to hold my phone while it's charging. So this phone is IP68 dust water resistant, and that means the phone is able to be submerged in water for up to 2 meters for 30 minutes. I don't be having my phone submerged into water, but I do wash my phone in the sink by leaving it under the faucet for about 10 seconds. And I do that about 3 times a week. That could potentially cause some damages in the phone, but so far I haven't had any damages that could be related to me washing the phone with water. So onto the display, there's really not any signs of wear and tear on the display, but this display is an OLED and the resolution is 2688 by 1242. It has a 6.5 inch display, giving it about 458 ppi. I like to note that this phone is integrated with 3D touch because it's the last iPhone that features 3D touch. I know most people didn't really care much for it, but to me, it was the pressure sensitive display that really gave me this nice sensation while using it. But when this display is in direct sunlight, of course you're gonna notice some glare, but it's really not that bad at all. And now onto the camera of the phone. So far, it's still been putting in work. iPhones have always been excellent with the balance of saturation and dynamic range be hitting good. So you got two cameras on the back. The main camera is 12 megapixels with a f.18 aperture. You got that OIS implemented, making it all stable. And the low light images on this phone comes out pretty good. And the secondary camera on this phone is a telephoto lens. It's capable of double the optical zooms, and that feature does come in handy when you want to take a quality photo zooming in. But I'm not gonna lie, I do rather have a wide angle lens. I don't really use a selfie cam like that, but it's a 7 megapixel f.2.2 aperture, no OIS, but you can record up to 1080p. Oh, and on the main camera on the back, you're capable of recording up to 4K. Honestly, I don't record videos in 4K on my iPhone, only because it takes up a lot of storage. But I'll record it in 4K in this phone just to try it out.
Yo, look at that bird.
Overall, the longevity of this iPhone XS Max is excellent. Since I am on a budget right now, I don't see myself upgrading this phone unless the phone is slowing down to the point where it's frustrating to use. And I'm glad that I chose this phone to last a long time with, because given that it's 2020 right now, I don't miss out on too much. I mean, it's mid 2020, so Apple is going to release a new iPhone in a few months. But considering this XS Max and everything that it's capable of, the upcoming iPhone has to feature something substantial for me to consider to upgrading. But on a general perspective, if you currently have the iPhone 11 Pro Max and you see how this phone still keeps up, you best believe your 11 Pro Max is gonna last even longer. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. As always, comment down below, let me know what you think about the video, and make sure you subscribe for the latest. Later.